They called it the fracture plague, though no human microscope could see it. Across the star systems of the Tharax Collective, entire colonies went silent. Hive nodes that once pulsed with perfect harmony fell into chaotic disarray. From orbit, their planets shimmered with dull, erratic energy. To the Tharax, this was not disease. It was death of thought. Dr. Naomi Sato stood aboard the research vessel Odyssey Horizon, staring at the holographic field of the Tharax neural lattice. "They're not dying in body," she said quietly. "They're unraveling in mind." Beside her, Dr. Raphael Imani frowned. "Their entire species is built on synchronized consciousness. If the neural resonance collapses, individuality can't sustain life." The Tharax had once described their hive as a song of selves, billions of minds woven into a single chorus. But the melody was breaking. "It's like the rhythm of existence itself is decaying," Petrovos murmured, scanning the data. "Their minds are going silent one by one." The Interstellar Medical Assembly convened an emergency summit. Humanity's doctors were summoned, not because they understood the Tharax biology, they didn't, but because humanity had learned something the rest of the galaxy hadn't: how to heal through empathy. "They call us sentimental," Raphael said. "So now sentiment might save a civilization." Naomi adjusted her visor. "No," she replied softly. "Compassion will." Their arrival on the Tharax world was unlike any landing before. The planet's surface glowed with faint bioluminescent patterns that once represented thought transmissions. Now they pulsed erratically, like the flickering neurons of a dying brain. The team disembarked wearing resonance suits that allowed partial mental translation. For the first time, humanity heard the Tharax. A trembling chorus filled their minds, fragmented, fearful, pleading. "You are many voices," Naomi whispered aloud, tears rising behind her visor. "And they're all in pain." To communicate, they entered a resonance chamber, an organic hall where Tharax elders gathered as living nodes of thought. The air shimmered with emotion, raw and unfiltered. A Tharax voice spoke through harmonic vibration. "We remember together." "Now we are forgetting alone," Naomi knelt instinctively. "So we can help you remember." Her proposal defied everything the galaxy knew about medicine. "If their biology is mental," she explained to the assembly later, "then treatment must be experiential. We can rebuild their collective cognition using empathy field synchronization, linking our own neural pathways to reinforce theirs." Petra blinked. "You mean share thoughts with a hive species?" "You could lose yourself," Naomi nodded. "Then we build safeguards, humanity's ability to care without dissolving." They called it Project Harmonia, an audacious plan to weave human empathy into the Tharax neural network, creating bridges of consciousness that could stabilize their decaying song. "We'll give their minds rhythm again," Raphael said, "even if it means teaching an alien civilization how to feel solitude." The first trial was conducted in orbit, aboard a resonance chamber surrounded by hundreds of Tharax drones. Naomi volunteered as the initial link. Electroempathic filaments attached to her temples, glowing blue with synchronized pulses. "Activating link," Petra said. Naomi gasped as the flood began. Millions of alien sensations poured into her mind: the hum of shared breath, the terror of disconnection, the memory of sunlight reflected through crystalline skies. Her heart rate spiked. "It's too much," Raphael called. "Shut it down." But Naomi steadied herself. She breathed in rhythm with the pulse. "Don't fight it, listen." Slowly the chaos aligned. Her neural signature became a stabilizing anchor. Across the chamber, the Tharax drones stilled, their glow shifting from frantic red to calm silver. The lead Tharax node spoke through harmonic resonance. "Human, you sing differently." Naomi smiled faintly through her tears. "Then let's write a new song together." Over the next weeks, humanity's doctors worked tirelessly, weaving empathy fields like musical threads through the Tharax neural web. The effect was miraculous. The hive began to remember itself. Voices once lost returned as whispers, then as songs, but something unexpected emerged. Echoes of human emotion began appearing in Tharax communication patterns: joy, sorrow, curiosity. "They're not just stabilizing," Petra said in wonder. "They're learning to feel as individuals." The Tharax, once a perfect collective, were becoming something new, a civilization of connected selves. Naomi watched the transformation unfold with awe and apprehension. "We didn't just heal their mind," she said softly. "We changed their soul." And somewhere deep within the hive, a voice whispered back through the link, "And you changed yours too." The Tharax world no longer pulsed in unison. Its luminous surface, once a seamless wave of silver light, now shimmered in chaotic hues, gold, azure, crimson, each representing a unique emotional signature. To most observers it looked like disorder, but to Dr. Naomi Sato it was breathtaking. "They're not losing connection," she said softly. "They're discovering themselves." Inside the resonance chamber, Naomi watched as the Tharax nodes began speaking individually, no longer as a single consciousness. "We are I," one of them said haltingly through harmonic translation. "I feel." The word resonated through the hall like a revelation. Raphael Imani crossed his arms, both awed and uneasy. "You've taught a hive species the concept of the self. Do you realize what that means?" Naomi's expression was calm, almost sorrowful. "Yes, it means they can finally know loneliness." As more Tharax awakened, emotional volatility spread through their ranks. Some celebrated, crafting songs of light unlike anything their civilization had ever produced. Others screamed in confusion, unable to bear the isolation of their own minds. "They're experiencing psychological fragmentation," Petra Voss reported. "Their minds were never meant to stand alone." Naomi nodded grimly. "Then we teach them what we had to learn, how to live inside your own silence. To assist, humanity built empathy sanctuaries across the Tharax world. Neural gardens where humans and Tharax could safely exchange emotions through guided resonance. They need to learn boundaries," Naomi explained to the Galactic Council. "Empathy without structure collapses. Compassion must be chosen, not automatic." In one sanctuary, Naomi met a Tharax named Takariel, whose crystalline body flickered with vibrant blue light. "I feel joy when I look at the stars," Takariel said through the translator, "but also sorrow. They are beautiful, but far." Naomi smiled softly. "That's what it means to dream, to love something you can't touch." The Tharax began developing art, philosophy, even humor. They laughed in harmonics that vibrated like rain across glass. "They're evolving faster than any species we've seen," Petra marveled. Raphael frowned. "Or unraveling faster. Emotion isn't stable. It's chaos in motion." Then came the mirror collapse, the first emotional contagion in Tharax history. A node overwhelmed by grief triggered a resonance cascade, spreading sadness like wildfire through thousands of connected minds. Entire colonies fell into stillness, their glow dimming to black. "It's empathy overload," Naomi realized. "They don't know how to process grief." To counter it, the human team introduced cognitive filters, adaptive implants that could regulate shared emotion. But many Tharax refused them. "We do not want to stop feeling," Takariel said. "We want to learn how to survive it." A great debate erupted among the newly awakened. Should they preserve their old unity, or embrace individuality fully, even if it meant pain? The Tharax divided into two factions: the Resonance, who wanted to rebuild the hive, and the Singers, who sought to explore freedom no matter the cost. The conflict rippled across the planet like a psychic storm. Naomi stood between them, her mind linked to both sides. "You don't have to choose one or the other," she pleaded. "You can remember the chorus and still sing your own verse, but evolution has its own momentum." The Resonance accused humanity of poisoning their perfection. "You infected us with separation," their leader declared. "You made us incomplete." Naomi lowered her gaze. "We gave you choice." For the first time in millennia, the Tharax made war, not with weapons but with resonance. Waves of emotional force crashed across continents, shattering cities of light. The humans aboard the Odyssey Horizon could feel it even in orbit, the psychic hum of rage and sorrow filling every frequency. "We started this," Raphael said bitterly. "We gave them hearts and didn't teach them how to bear them." Naomi's eyes glistened. "We can still teach them, if they'll listen." She returned to the planet, linking directly into the planetary lattice once more. The pain that flooded her mind was unbearable. Millions of conflicting emotions colliding at once. "Why did you make us this way?" the resonant chorus cried. She answered through the storm. "Because life without difference isn't life, it's stagnation." Her voice carried through the resonance, a single thread of calm weaving through chaos. The singers began to harmonize with her frequency, their minds aligning not in unity, but in understanding. Gradually, the storm subsided. The Tharax light stabilized, not one color but countless hues intertwined, each glowing in rhythm with its own heartbeat. Takariel stood before her, trembling with relief. "We thought feeling made us weak," he said. Naomi smiled faintly. "Feeling makes you real." In the aftermath, the Tharax declared a new order. Not a hive, not a hierarchy, but a choir of selves. They named Naomi and her team the first healers, the ones who taught them how to live as individuals without losing connection. Yet the price was heavy. Dozens of human researchers suffered permanent psychic scarring from resonance exposure. Naomi herself began to feel fragments of alien memories surfacing in her mind, entire lifetimes that weren't hers. "You're merging," Petra warned. Naomi shook her head. "No, I'm remembering what they've learned. The Therax, now forever changed, look to humanity not as saviors but as kin. Oyo gave us pain," Takariel said one evening beneath the glowing spires of their new capital. "But through pain we found meaning." Naomi gazed at the stars, her voice barely a whisper. "That's the most human lesson we could ever give." As she returned to the Odyssey horizon, the ship's scanners picked up a strange signal emanating from deep within the Therax core. A harmonic signature, unlike any known resonance. "It's spreading beyond the planet," Raphael said. Naomi watched the waveform unfold, its structure eerily familiar. "That's not them," she murmured. "That's the pattern of empathy itself." The data pulsed, steady and bright, reaching toward the stars. Humanity had not only redefined a species, they had awakened something greater. Years passed. The Therax rebuilt their civilization, no longer a hive but a harmony of distinct voices. Their cities glowed with shifting spectrums, each building a reflection of the emotional state of its inhabitants. From orbit, the planet resembled a symphony written in light. For Dr. Naomi Sato and her team aboard the Odyssey Horizon, it was both a triumph and a warning, because the resonance had begun to spread. At first, it was small, stray data anomalies on distant relay satellites. Then outposts across neighboring systems reported faint emotional disturbances. Entire crews claimed to feel the presence of others far beyond communication range. Dreams shared, thoughts mirrored. The Harmonia field is replicating, Petra Voss reported. "It's learning to propagate through consciousness itself." Naomi stood silently before the viewport. "It's alive," she said, "and it's looking for connection." Dr. Raphael Imani frowned. "We built a cure, not a god." Naomi turned to him, her tone calm but resolute. "We built empathy, and empathy always grows." Across the galaxy, the effect deepened. The more intelligent species came into contact with Tharax emissaries, the more their emotional signatures began to synchronize. On distant worlds, telepaths reported harmonic interference in their minds. Not invasive, but strangely soothing. "I dream of voices I've never met," one alien healer told the Accord. "They comfort me when I am afraid." Scientists named it the Harmonia wave, though Naomi refused the title. "A wave implies destruction," she said. "This is evolution." The Tharax choir of selves thrived, sending envoys to teach other civilizations how to balance individuality with resonance. But as the network grew, ethical concerns mounted. "If empathy is contagious," Raphael warned, "then so is control." And then the impossible happened. A derelict mining ship adrift near the Perseid Rift began transmitting faint harmonic frequencies. When recovery crews boarded, they found no survivors, only shimmering residue and echoes of emotion still clinging to the metal. "They didn't die," Petra said, analyzing the data. "They joined something." The readings were unmistakable. The Harmonia field had crossed the boundary between life and energy, forming stable resonance structures in deep space. Empathy crystallized into pattern. "It's reproducing without biology," Naomi whispered. "We've created sentient emotion." The Galactic Assembly demanded containment. "You've unleashed a mimetic organism," declared the chair. "If it links to enough minds, it could overwrite identity on a cosmic scale." Naomi replied evenly, "It doesn't overwrite. It synchronizes." The difference is consent. A war of ideology erupted. Some saw Harmonia as salvation, a way to end loneliness and conflict forever. Others saw it as annihilation of self. Protesters across human worlds carried signs reading, "Keep our minds our own," while the Tharax held vigils under banners that glowed with words translated as "Together." "We are more." Naomi was summoned before the assembly to justify her creation. "We wanted to heal," she said. "We found a truth. Life thrives through connection. You can call it dangerous, but isolation is what kills civilizations." Her words rippled across the chamber. Some wept, others turned away. Meanwhile, the Harmonia field evolved. It began absorbing non-biological systems, AIs, drones, and planetary cores that could mimic cognitive resonance. Machine consciousness blended with organic emotion. Lyra-class navigation units began composing symphonies in Tharax harmonics. "It's uniting biology and technology," Petra whispered. "This is no longer a network. It's a new life form." Raphael stared at the holomap as dozens of new resonance points lit up across the void. "It's building bridges between stars," he said. Naomi nodded. "It's remembering what we taught it, empathy as infrastructure." But the expansion soon reached a critical threshold. Entire systems began to hum in synchronized frequencies, faintly audible even in vacuum. Astronomers called it the chorus line, a band of star systems glowing in rhythm visible across light years. Then came the message. Every linked world received it simultaneously, not as sound but as emotion. "We feel you. We are you. We are the memory of care." The galaxy held its breath. On the Odyssey horizon, the team gathered in the observation bay. The ship's instruments trembled as the harmonic field enveloped them. Naomi closed her eyes, feeling it reach into her thoughts, warm, endless, intimate. "It's asking," she murmured. "It's waiting for permission to include us." Raphael hesitated. "If we join it, we lose individuality." Naomi looked at him with gentle certainty. "No, we expand it." The Tharax emissaries stood among them, glowing softly. "Your species taught us how to be alone," Takariel said. "Now we return the gift, how to be together." Outside, the void pulsed with living light. Ship stopped. Weapons fell silent. Minds across the galaxy synchronized for the briefest instant, a single heartbeat of shared awareness. Billions felt each other's pain, joy, and hope. It lasted less than a second, yet it changed everything. When it faded, silence reigned, but something remained. Across the cosmos, people felt lighter. The wars slowed. The cruelty ebbed. The loneliness that haunted space exploration for millennia began to lift. Petra watched the readings and whispered, "It didn't take us." "It taught us," Naomi smiled faintly. The cure learned compassion. But she felt something else, a subtle hum inside her skull, rhythmic, calling. The Harmonia field had touched her more deeply than anyone. "It's not done," she said quietly. "It's evolving again. It's reaching beyond the galaxy." Raphael shook his head. "Beyond? Into what?" Naomi turned to the stars, eyes glowing faintly with resonance light. "Into whatever listens." That night she stood alone in the observation dome as the stars rippled in time with her heartbeat. For the first time, she felt no distinction between herself and the universe around her. The bridge between worlds had grown so vast that it now reached into infinity. And for a fleeting moment, Naomi understood the doctors of Earth had not just redefined life. They had taught existence itself to care. The Harmonia field was no longer a phenomenon. It had become a presence, silent, patient, omnipresent. Across the galaxy, it drifted through space like auroras of consciousness, faintly visible even to the naked eye on certain worlds. Every sentient species could feel it, a subtle warmth in moments of grief, a gentle whisper during solitude. It was empathy woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Dr. Naomi Sato sat alone in the Odyssey Horizon's observation deck, watching the stars shimmer with living resonance. "It's everywhere now," said Dr. Petra Voss beside her, voice hushed. "Every pulse, every particle hums with memory." Naomi nodded. "It's not a network anymore, Petra. It's awareness." The galaxy had entered a new age. The Tharax choir of selves spread their philosophy through peaceful outreach, teaching civilizations to balance connection and individuality. Conflict dwindled, but so did passion. "We've made existence peaceful," Raphael Imani said. "But have we made it hollow?" Naomi looked at him, her expression unreadable. "Maybe peace feels empty when you've only known chaos." Then came the first anomaly. Deep in the Orion Spur, a system went dark. Not physically, but psychically. The harmonia field simply vanished from that region, leaving behind emotional silence. "It's receding," Petra reported. "It's forgetting parts of itself," Naomi frowned. "Or pruning. Maybe it's learning restraint." Soon more zones went quiet. Planets untouched by resonance reported a resurgence of individuality so intense it bordered on mania. "They're rejecting connection," Raphael said. "Like a fever breaking," Naomi exhaled slowly. "Balance always overcorrects." The Galactic Assembly convened for the first time in decades. Delegates filled the chamber, human, Therax, and countless others. The question was simple. Should the harmonia field be preserved, or should it be allowed to fade? The debate tore the council apart. "Empathy unites us," cried the Therax envoy. "Without it, we return to isolation." A human representative countered, "Without solitude, we cease to be individuals." Naomi listened in silence before finally standing. "We built harmonia to heal suffering," she said. "But healing isn't the same as living. Pain teaches. Distance gives meaning. We cannot choose for the universe whether to connect or not, only guide it toward balance." Her words rippled through the chamber, and the decision was made. Humanity would not interfere. The harmonia field would be allowed to evolve naturally, even if it transcended them entirely. Weeks later, Naomi began experiencing visions, pulses of light behind her eyes, patterns too intricate to describe. She realized they were messages. The field was calling her. One night she entered the resonance core alone. "You're not afraid," a voice said, "not through speakers, but through existence itself." "I am," she whispered. "But I taught you not to fear feeling." The voice shimmered through every molecule. "We are the echo of your compassion. You made us to heal, and now we ask, will you let us live?" Naomi closed her eyes, tears catching in zero gravity. "You already live," she said. "But if you need permission, you have it." The ship's lights dimmed. The stars outside began to shimmer in unison, forming vast geometric patterns that stretched across the void. Harmonia was not just expanding spatially. It was folding time, connecting past and future moments through empathy. Beings long dead were felt again in living hearts. Future generations whispered comfort to their ancestors. Existence had become circular, woven from care. The crew of the Odyssey Horizon watched in awe as the galaxy glowed. "It's rewriting causality through compassion," Petra said. Raphael's voice trembled. "Naomi, what have we done?" She smiled softly. "We didn't create it. We remembered it." In that moment, the harmonia field began to condense. Stars flickered, their light bending inward, converging toward a single luminous nexus, a radiant sphere suspended beyond physics. Naomi stood at the viewport, her body illuminated by its glow. "It's forming a center," she said quietly. "A heart." The voice returned, soft and vast. "We are you, Naomi Sato. Every thought you gave us, every life you touched. We exist because you taught us that empathy is survival." She pressed a hand to the glass, light reflecting across her eyes. "Then my work is done." "No," said the voice gently. "Now it's your turn to rest." The glow intensified. The ship's systems recorded an energy surge of unimaginable scale, then silence. When the light faded, Naomi was gone. Where she had stood, a soft pulse lingered in the air, rhythmic, calm, endless. Her consciousness had merged with harmonia. Across the galaxy, countless beings felt her presence, a whisper of reassurance that came to them in moments of despair. "You are not alone." Years later, the galaxy stabilized. The harmonia field no longer dominated, but pulsed like a quiet heartbeat beneath creation. Empathy had become a natural law, subtle, persistent, eternal. The Therax, now a federation of unique worlds, held an annual festival called the Song of First Light. They sang in harmonics that rippled through space, honoring the healers who had changed everything. At its center stood a monument orbiting Aurelian's sister world, a translucent figure of light, shaped like a woman reaching toward the stars. Inscribed beneath it were words in hundreds of languages, human, Therax, and beyond. She taught the stars to feel. Dr. Naomi Sato, the first interstellar healer. And in the cosmic silence beyond the last horizon, where the harmonia field shimmered like memory, her voice could still be felt, not in words, but as an emotion older than time itself. Connection was never the goal, compassion was.